I want to apologize on behalf of Kathy Jett, who had a personal emergency and could not be here. Part of what we wanted to try to do in this session was to move the messiness that we've talked about at the state level to talk about what happens at a county level. So Cochs, in partnership with California Forward and Californians for Safety and Justice, has been getting increasing demand for a how-to, right? Tell us how to do it, right? We don't want to messy, we want to know, how do we do this? So what happened is the three organizations, Cal Forward, Californians for Safety, Justice, and Cochs, formed a partnership with the explicit goal of responding to the demand of California counties for a process to break down silos at the local level. And California Forward, which came out of the Little Hoover Commission, had a strong political connection to the California Association, State Association of Counties, which is the NACO equivalent in California. And Matt Cate, who used to be the head of the California State Prison System, had recently taken over as the president of CSAC. And because of those relationships, Matt went ahead and sent a personal email to the county administrative officer of every of the 58 counties in California, saying that the three partners were going to organize convenings. And what that meant is that we were bringing together in 10 locations, and we've trained 38 of the 58 counties in California so far, really just not the far ones in the eastern Sierras. And what we would do is we would spend the morning doing a sort of ACA 101, and in the afternoon, each of the counties would break into specific tables to develop a strategy on how that county wanted to implement and break down silos. And when Cochs was first involved to be doing this, and I'm going to be honest here, I said, boy, this is not a good use of my time. This is just going to be messy, to go back to the challenges that everyone's talking about. And in fact, to my shock and surprise, it has exactly been the opposite. Each convening has come up with a fascinating range of very specific strategies that the counties have developed, ranging from enrolling, and we're going to ask Sheriff Rich Lucia after this thing to introduce Mike and talk about some of the stuff that they've done, to how do we develop basically a mainstreaming of justice folks into healthcare providers. That typically the healthcare needs of justice individuals have been dealt in California within a separate silo that was paid for with county dollars. That post-ACA, we've been working on how do we mainstream that so we have a single system of care for all individuals, justice involved or not. We've been working on pretrial at SEMA's request and figuring out how we can divert folks from the front door into using Affordable Act Care services to be released on their own recognizance. And the moral of this story, which is what I really want to share, is that at a county level, it may be significantly easier to break down silos in a way that is less messy than it may be at a state level. And I think that if you go back to Paul, to sort of the experience that you guys are having in your 6 pilots, that also what you've been learning in New York State, that it's been the local work that you've been doing, that Coach has been helping with, that at that local level is really where the action is going to be. So I think the message I want to leave before we go to the Q&A for this is for those of you to think about how do we implement, how do we break down silos, a lot of that answer may be at a very local county level. And with that, I guess, Jody, you're going to entertain questions.